Hello. So it's the first week after Easter, first week after Resurrection Sunday, because in fact we're still in the Easter season. We celebrate Easter and the resurrection from now till Pentecost. The lectionary readings for this coming Sunday are the story of the doubting, what's sometimes called the doubting Thomas. Join us on Sunday because my colleague Reverend Michael Hare will be talking about that passage. There's also a passage in Acts 4, 32 to 35. And it is a passage about the character of the community after Pentecost and after people were being gathered. And the apostles were all preaching the good news and inviting people into a connection with the divine, with God, through the life and work and action and life and resurrection of Jesus the Christ. There's a line in there we could hold on to. And no one was in need, because they all shared what they had, so that everyone had their needs taken care of. I paraphrased a bit. It's sort of a utopian passage about an ideal society or community, maybe an ideal church, where everybody makes sure that everybody else is taken care of. And in the passage a little further on, they name someone who had a large tract of land, or it's implied it's a large tract of land, and they sold it and brought all the proceeds to the apostles so that it could be used to take care of the people. I don't think this is about some sort of indication of how we should work as a church. Sell your house, bring it to the church, we'll share it around everyone so everyone's needs are taken care of. It's not so much about that, and more about what is the character of the community. And the primary character is that they take care of each other, that everyone is taken care of. Through this pandemic, we've learned this a little bit more clearly in our hearts, the need to take care of one another. We call friends and connect and make sure, and when we haven't seen someone for a while, we reach out to them. In some ways we're doing it well, in some ways it just feels like it's not enough. But in the end, what it's really about is expressing that concern and care for one another. I know over the last year I've probably gone to this message half a dozen times. But the reality is that this is the core message of the gospel, that we are in community together, and we're looking out for each other, caring for each other. The passage in Acts comes at the end of a whole series of dramatic events from Pentecost till that moment, and how many people had come. And it's going to carry on. The story will carry on, and as we come through Pentecost, we'll read some of that story. But it is about the unfolding of the church, and this is the starting point. The complete care they had for one another, and we know that it doesn't take long for the church to lose that intimacy. It gets spread out. There's arguments between Paul and Peter. There's friction about what's being taken care of. In fact, soon after this, we'll read in Acts the story where they have to choose 7 deacons, I think they call them at that point, to help with the distribution, because some folks were saying that their people weren't being taken care of as well as other people. And it carries on, because of course human beings are human beings, and we will struggle to actually really be just and fair and truly compassionate. But let's just sit there for a minute. The sense of absolutely caring for the other in our community. It's utopia. And it's maybe a little bit of what we hope for and believe we had. And even if when, a year and a half ago or whatever, our congregation wasn't ideal, it's pretty good, friends. It was pretty good. But let's be honest that every congregation, every church, every organization has places where some people might feel left out, some people might not feel loved or cared for, and some people might feel disregarded. We're not perfect. But we can move into it when we come out of the pandemic with a deep hope to live out that character of that first community where we truly took care of one another, made sure that everyone's needs were taken care of, make sure everyone was included, make sure everyone had a place and belonged. I yearn for it, as I'm sure you do as well. We've had a year and a bit now where we've only seen each other on the screen, and although that helps and it works to a certain degree, we truly miss one another. What will it be like when we are back in this room, which I'm standing at this very moment? What will it be like? I don't know. Will we be shy? Shy to express our love for one another? Shy to hug or shake hands even, or stand close to the other? Or will we melt? Will our hearts melt and just be overwhelmed with the joy of being in each other's presence? I hope for the second. Maybe there'll be tears. I hope for the second. When the second situation where we just overjoyed with hope and love. So maybe what we need to make sure we are generous with is not necessarily selling our house or our land or our cars or whatever to be able to bring it to the church, but maybe sell off all those things that limit us from fully loving in the name of God, in the name of the living Christ, each other, our community. And bring that treasure to the church when the time comes, such that that treasure, the church will be overflowing with abundance of compassion and love and hope, because we've broken down the things that prevent us from just letting it pour out. It's what I hope for. It's the utopia I hold on to. Will it be perfect when we all return? Not likely. Will it be something that we're not expecting? Probably. Will it be miraculous? I think so. So, a few months to go, friends, a few months to go. We don't know exactly when, but a few months to go, and we will gather in the name of Christ and proclaim our love for one another and for our loving God. Thank you for listening. May God be with you, and may God hold you close, close in loving arms.